Hey, this is Mike Barnes, the financial first responder. Hey, good evening. It's Monday, and I just wanted you to know I didn't forget about you. I've been doing a whole bunch of stuff today, dealing with clients as well as working to make other people's lives better. Hey, so have you ever thought about apple trees? Or maybe you like this picture. You have your head in the clouds. Well, what does that have to do with money, Mike? Well, I'm glad you asked. You see, any of you could have your own apple tree, but most of you will not. Let's get started. So, when we talk about apple trees, see, I'm comparing an apple tree to your finances. So, what we're doing is I'm saying, hey, you have an apple in one hand, and maybe I should have brought an apple in here, but I had my apple today already. You know, they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Comparing that apple to your investment portfolio. What this involves is you looking at how you nurture your accounts, you look at time, and you look at patience for your apples or your investments to grow. Now, before we get started, I'm going to give you a breakdown because I think some of you will get the picture. So every time you eat an apple, yeah, you're getting fiber, but you're going to start thinking about how your money is invested. So, without any further ado, let's talk about this apple tree. Now, when we're talking about planting a seed, what are we really talking about? See, planting a seed is simple. It's just as you would plant a seed to grow an apple tree, you need to start with an initial investment in your portfolio. This could be in the form of your savings or investments in stocks, bonds, or real estate. Now, I just gave you examples of three, but some of you are probably investing in crypto. Some of you have changed your mentality of how you do stuff. And you probably need to go out and reach out and talk to somebody like me, a financial advisor, a financial first responder, and let's see how we could help you. Now, what am I saying? I am saying simply this: to have an apple tree or to have an investment, you got to first do this. You have to nurture or be nurturing and grow. Now, a lot of people come to me and the first thing they want is that shiny gold apple. And yes, she's got gold fingernails and a gold apple to symbolize they want the money up front, right? They're looking for a get rich quick scheme. They're looking for something that will make them a bunch of money. Hey, here's the thing: both an apple tree and an investment portfolio require ongoing care and attention. For the tree, this involves watering, fertilizing, protecting it from pests or pestilence, as we would say in the Bible. For your portfolio, this might mean regularly contributing to it, diversifying your investments, and reviewing your strategy. Now, here's the thing: if you have a financial advisor or you have someone you work with on your accounts, and you're not looking at this at least yearly or as needed, you and that person are both wrong. You should not be only looking at this when you get your quarterly statements. That's what I'm going to say to you. Now, you say, well, Mike, how important is that really? Well, it's so important that the next thing we're discussing outside of growth is time horizon. See, an apple tree takes time to grow and bear fruit. Similarly, building a successful investment portfolio is a long-term endeavor that requires patience and discipline. And the longer you hold the investments, the more they can potentially grow. Now, we've talked about the rule of 72, and we've talked about the higher your interest rate, the faster your money compounds. Well, here's the thing: if you don't plan on having a long term strategy for investing, meaning a time horizon, then you shouldn't expect for you to yield any fruit. You shouldn't, because it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. But in your keeping, it must take some time, right? So we talk about this time thing, Mike. Well, what about diversification? You see here, we got different apples here that represent being diversified. See, a lot of you want to put all your money in one place, all your eggs in one basket, and then wonder why you don't make a return. You're not correlated right, as we say in the investment field. So, just as you might plant different types of trees in an orchard to reduce risk, diversifying your investment portfolio can help you spread your risk and improve your returns. This could involve investing in different asset classes, industries, or geographic regions. Now, most of you don't even take time to read your prospectus. Most of you don't take time to read your statements. All you want to know is, are you up or are you down? And in a long term strategy, guess what? You will always have some ups and downs. With that said, well, Mike, if I put my money in something, I should expect to get a harvest, right? I should expect for it to grow, right? Well, there is risk. There's a risk it'll go up or risk it'll go down. Nobody can guarantee anything. So when we're talking about harvesting fruit, what are we exactly talking about, Mike? Eventually, your apple tree will bear some fruit that you can enjoy or sell. Similarly, your investment portfolio should grow over time, providing you with returns that you can use to achieve your financial goals. See, every investment you set up, you should be setting it up with your financial professional, with your goals or your objectives in mind. See, a lot of times people are setting up accounts and they don't have a purpose for them. And if you don't have a purpose for your account, guess what your account doesn't have? It doesn't have the drive, it doesn't have the sustainability or the suitability for what you're trying to do. That is the reason why we have you do a asset allocation questionnaire or risk questionnaire, because we want to know what you're trying to do with the money you're investing. And see, like fruit, and you see a lot of beautiful fruit here. You see oranges and apples and kiwis, and oh my God, you got all types of strawberries and different things in here. Your portfolio needs to be diversified. However, most of you do the same thing. You go call somebody up and ask them where's the greatest return. And just because the return is good this year doesn't mean it's going to be there next year, right? And when we give you the prospectus to read or we talk to you about risk, oh, I'm good. I'm not worried about it. Hmm. You might want to start thinking about how your harvest is going to turn out. So then we start talking about reinvestment. Well, wait a minute, Mike. I can't get my money yet. I need to reinvest. These are drip plans. These are plans that you're putting money in on a consistent basis. And so what we want to do is we want to ensure continued growth, and you may choose to reinvest some of the returns from your apple tree by fertilizing or pruning, or from your investment portfolio by reinvesting dividends or capital gains. So you'll notice you're here right now, you're in an orchard, right? And you see trees in the background, but you see these apples in a crate. What you don't see is the watering, you don't see the pruning, you don't see any of that stuff, the fertilizing, you don't see the nasty stuff. You only see the fruit. Well, guess what? Your investment accounts are the same way. It takes time, people. I've had people call me, hey, I got $10,000, I got 20,000, I got 100,000. What should I invest in? And I say to them, I don't know. What do you want to invest in? And then they give me their story. And I say to them, well, what is your risk tolerance? And they say, well, I don't know. And guess what I say? Well, before you invest any money, whether you do it with me or anybody else, you need to figure that one out. So I'm saying to you, you need to figure out your risk tolerance. You need to figure out what type of investor you are. Because as a financial advisor, licensed financial advisor, meaning I had to pass tests to do what I do, you really want to make sure that whatever you're doing, it is in your best interest. Not mine, not whoever you're working with, your best interest. So, with that said, in my conclusion, I would say this. Now, you'll notice I've been talking to you about apples, and you'll notice right here, I'm talking about the pie, the apple pie. I remember when my grandmother was alive, I would sit and watch her in the kitchen making apple pies. And I would think about how great the apple pie was going to taste. But it had to be made first. And so I'm saying to you, for you to have your retirement, for you to plan for a wedding for your child, for you to buy that home, for you to buy that investment property, for you to fund that business, it's going to take some time. So, with that said, in both cases, it's important to have a clear plan, be prepared for setbacks, and adapt to changing conditions. Because the market, and I've been in this industry for a long time, the market goes up and down. Now, here's a link below that I would like for you to click on and take our 11 question quiz on your risk tolerance. And if you like this video, I'd like for you to like and subscribe this video and share it with somebody. Yeah, we're talking about apple trees and we're talking about apple pie and we're talking about your investment, but what we're really talking about is helping you get where you want to be financially. Until we talk again, this has been Mike Barnes, the financial first responder. I appreciate your time. God bless and have a good night.